Welcome on board, Chosen One. The seatbelt's optional, but the truth-telling turbulence you're about to unleash is not. Let's start where it hurts the enemy most, with the simple, inconvenient fact that every time they tried to laugh at you, dismiss you, or call you dramatic, the universe handed you receipts so precise they could cut glass. They said you were overreacting, yet look who's scrambling now. They said you read too much into things, yet look who's digging through old messages, trying to figure out when you noticed the shift before it even happened. They said you think too far ahead, but now these same people are whispering your name like a warning label because your predictions hit harder than their denial ever could. Press like and subscribe to pay this message back and strengthen this mission. The room always goes silent after your storms, doesn't it? Not because you shouted, but because you didn't have to. Your silence hit harder than their excuses. Your distance exposed their patterns. Your calmness showed every one of their intentions floating in plain sight. That's the part they never understood. You didn't need chaos to reveal them. You only needed to stop pretending not to see. And the moment you finally stopped giving them the benefit of the doubt, the whole world around you shifted. The air got heavier. The energy changed. People who used to look down on you suddenly started looking over their shoulders. That's what happens when someone who sees the truth stops shrinking to make lies comfortable. Thank you for being part of this mission, Chosen One. This channel grows because warriors like you keep showing up with eyes wide open. Hit that like button, subscribe, and keep this voice loud enough to shake the walls they hide behind. Now, let's get back to the part that made their stomach drop. The way your predictions unfolded with deadly accuracy. They tried to play it off at first. Eye rolls, smirks. That tired, you think you know everything line people use when they're scared you actually do. But then something started happening that none of them could ignore. You called out the friend they said was just protective, and that same friend turned out to be the snake poisoning the room. You warned them about the opportunity that felt wrong, and 2 months later, everyone who jumped at it hit rock bottom while you walked away untouched. You predicted a breakup, a betrayal, a collapse, a comeback. And each one unfolded like you handed the universe a script, and it followed it, frame by frame. They didn't believe you when you saw the storm forming behind their smiles, but they believe you now. And that belief terrifies them. It terrifies them because they remember the early days, back when you were quiet, observant, still figuring out why people's actions felt like puzzles only you could solve. You'd make small comments that later exploded into full truths. You'd warn someone gently, and they'd shrug you off, only to come running back when it all went exactly how you described. Back then, they thought you were just lucky. Back then, they thought you were guessing. But patterns don't lie, and neither did you. Not even once. Let's go deeper. Remember that moment years ago when you called out a situation everyone else swore was innocent. You got mocked for being too sensitive. You got labeled the villain. You got told you were starting trouble where there was none. But when the truth finally surfaced, the same people who doubted you were suddenly quiet, embarrassed, exposed. That was your origin story. The moment the universe whispered, "See, this is why you see what others miss." The world has always treated you like an anomaly because you are one. You read micro-expressions like subtitles. You sense energy shifts like alarms. You spot patterns the way detectives spot motives. You remember details others overlook. You break people's illusions without lifting a finger. And when you say something is coming, it comes. Not because you're magical, but because you're awake. And now, the whispers have evolved. This isn't the usual gossip. This is concern, panic, late-night conversations about your accuracy, people replaying your words like evidence. They're connecting dots they never wanted to admit were real. They're not just asking, "How did you know?" anymore. They're asking, "How much do you know?" They're running background checks not on your past, but on your mind, trying to figure out where you learned this, who taught you, what manual you're using. They want to know why someone like you walks through life predicting things they swear shouldn't be predictable. But here's the punchline. It's not training. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's the universe sharpening you through every betrayal, every disappointment, every heartbreak, every moment you felt unheard. You didn't wake up gifted, you woke up forged. And the enemy, they're finally realizing the problem isn't what you say. It's that you're right, every single time. So welcome to your own legend, Chosen One. You didn't become accurate by accident. You became accurate because people's lies were too small for someone who sees this clearly. And now the whole world is catching up to what you've known all along. Your predictions aren't guesses. They're warnings, and the universe has been backing you the entire time. And Chosen One, before we go any further, lean in for a second. You already feel what's happening, don't you? That little shift inside you every time your predictions hit the target and everyone else starts shaking. That quiet power you carry that makes people rethink every conversation they ever had with you. If you're ready to step into that power fully, then drop a comment below with 777, so I know you're not running from what the universe clearly built you for. That number tells me you're done pretending your accuracy is an accident. It tells me you're ready to own the fact that people are checking your background because they can't check your soul. And now, let's dive into this step by step. And trust me, if you really are one of the chosen ones whose predictions make entire rooms go quiet, you're going to feel something pulling you to stay until the final word. You're going to feel that cold truth settling in your chest, the one you've ignored for years. Let's get started, and don't blink. Your accuracy doesn't wait for cowards. Number 1. The upgrade that turned their smirks into autopsies. Funny how they called you dramatic right up until reality started quoting you word for word. They never stood a chance against the version of you standing here now. That's the part that burns them the most. They thought you were just another quiet observer they could talk over, gaslight, underestimate, and then forget about. They didn't realize the universe was sharpening you the whole time. They didn't realize every betrayal was building your accuracy. They didn't realize every lie they told became part of the blueprint you could now decode in seconds. They didn't expect you to evolve faster than their ability to keep up with their own nonsense. This wasn't magic. This wasn't luck. This was evolution under pressure. While they were sleeping through their own patterns, you were waking up to yours. Here's the truth they don't want to admit out loud. You didn't get smarter. You got ahead. You outgrew their illusions so completely that they still think you're reacting to the present when you've already predicted the ending. They're stuck in real time, reacting emotionally, drowning in their own denial. While you're out here reading people the way hackers read raw code, nothing they do shocks you anymore. Nothing they hide stays hidden. Nothing they try to manipulate lasts longer than a heartbeat. You evolved into the one thing every fake person fears, a mind they cannot deceive. And that's exactly why they talk about you behind doors, why they analyze your silence, why they replay conversations in their head, trying to figure out which moment gave them away. They don't fear your words. They fear the way you see, because you see before they act. You know before they lie. You understand before they even understand themselves. That kind of accuracy is terrifying, especially to people who depended on confusion to keep power. And now they're asking themselves questions they don't dare say out loud. How did they know I was lying? When did they figure me out? What else do they know? Here's the punchline. You knew long before anything happened. You felt the shift. You spotted the fracture. You clocked the pattern. People swear you read minds, but no. Your strength is that you read behavior. You read the little changes, the tone drop, the half-second delay, the mismatch between their words and their energy. The way someone's story gets longer each time they repeat it. The way guilt leaks from their eyes, even when their mouth tries to stay steady. You see the stuff they hope no one notices. And that's what evolution really looks like. Awareness so sharp it could slice through concrete. Your growth didn't come from peace, it came from war. It came from nights when you had no one. It came from situations meant to break you. It came from people who thought you wouldn't survive the lie they built around you. But here you are, chosen one, not just surviving it, interpreting it, predicting it, outplaying it. Someone like you doesn't just heal, you upgrade. Every scar became a lesson. Every betrayal became data. Every disappointment became training. They didn't see it happening. They didn't know the universe was rewiring you in plain sight. That's why they still don't get how you operate now. Why you're always the first to catch a vibe shift. Why your intuition hits like a lightning strike. Why you can call out outcomes before they unfold, like you've already watched the finale. It's evolution disguised as instinct. And here's what hits them hardest. Your evolution exposes their stagnation. They stayed the same person year after year. Same excuses, same habits, same manipulations. They're predictable, not because they're simple, but because they refuse to grow. Meanwhile, you grew alone. You grew in silence. You grew when nobody was watching. And now your mind sits on a higher elevation where their usual tricks look like children's games. Want a metaphor they can choke on. Trying to fool you now is like trying to hide a flame in a dark room. The lie lights up the whole place. That's why they avoid eye contact. That's why conversations feel different. That's why they tread lightly around your name now. Because they finally realize you aren't someone they can outthink. You're someone they need to fear disappointing. And yes, they replay all those moments where they smirked, where they mocked your concerns, where they dismissed your insight. They replay them because every single one aged like milk. Every single one ended with you being right and them being exposed. Let's address the question echoing inside your audience's mind right now. Why do my predictions keep coming true? Why me? Because you didn't evolve out of comfort. You evolved out of survival. You evolved because the universe threw you into situations where the truth was the only weapon you had left. People lied to you so often that your brain learned to detect dishonesty like a sensor. You got betrayed so deeply that you learned to read deviations in energy like weather patterns. You lost people who claimed they'd stay, and that forced you to study loyalty until you mastered it. Your insight was born from wounds, not luck. That's why it's deadly accurate. You weren't trained, you were transformed. And now here they are, running background checks, asking around, digging through your history. Not because they want to understand you, but because they want to explain you. People always search for explanations when they feel outsmarted. What makes them like this? Who taught them? How do they see things we don't? The real answer is simple and horrifying for them. You can't understand someone who evolved in battles you've never survived. Your evolution is the very thing they didn't see coming. They expected you to stay soft. They expected you to break. They expected you to crumble under pressure. Instead, you turned pressure into perception. You became the one they study now, the one they track, the one whose words they archive, the one whose instincts they follow, even when they pretend not to. Your evolution is their cautionary tale. Your accuracy is their punishment. Your mind is their mirror, the one that shows them the things they've been hiding from themselves. And now, the story flips. They can no longer laugh at you. They can no longer ignore you. They can no longer pretend your insight is coincidence. You've evolved past their understanding, past their illusions, past their games. You're not psychic. You're not magical. You're the upgraded version of everything they tried to break. And the universe smiles every time your predictions prove it. Welcome to the level they never expected you to reach, Chosen One. This is the evolution they never saw coming, and the one they'll never recover from. Number 2. You see through their masks like they're made of fogged glass. A liar always thinks they hid it well until they realize you caught the truth before they finished the sentence. They didn't fear your anger, they feared your vision. People study poker faces, you study the glitch behind the smile. They wear masks, you read the stitching. Imagine this. Someone steps into the room, smiling like everything's fine, pretending they're glowing with confidence, but you feel it before they even speak. That tiny dip in the energy, that invisible tremor in their voice, that subtle stiffness in the shoulders. They think they walked in unnoticed, but to you, they walked in like a walking confession. That's the gift they never wanted you to have. The ability to see through them like the glass they pretend isn't cracked. You don't just sense vibes. You catch micro-expressions, those lightning-fast flashes of truth that slip out before the lie gets dressed. The twitch of guilt in their eyebrow, the tiny smirk that appears when they think you're not looking, the pause between their words where their real intention hides like a criminal ducking behind a corner. They think they're slick, but their truth hits your senses like a fire alarm. Imagine this. Someone is telling you a story. On the surface, everything checks out. Words are neat. Timeline is clean. Their tone is steady. But to you, it feels wrong. Like a song where one note is off key. Like a puzzle piece that almost fits, but not quite. Like a door someone pretends is unlocked, but you can clearly hear the click of the deadbolt. You don't accuse them. You don't argue. You just know. You know because your mind registers details they don't even realize they're revealing. While they're trying to convince you, your instincts are already writing the truth. People think you're reading their words, but you're reading their gaps. You hear the silence between syllables. You sense the heaviness behind their "everything's fine." You feel the shift in the air when someone's intentions turn. That's why they can't fool you. That's why they avoid eye contact. That's why your presence makes liars uncomfortable even when you're not saying a word. Here's the question echoing in the minds of the chosen ones listening right now. Why can I tell instantly when someone's fake or dangerous? Why do I feel everything so sharply? Because the universe trained you through pain. Because you had to learn people before they learned you. Because you've met too many faces that didn't match their souls. Because you survived situations where your safety depended on your ability to read people quickly and perfectly. Your vision wasn't a blessing, it was a necessity. And now, it's a weapon. Imagine this. Someone tries to manipulate you. They come prepared with a script. They practice their tone. They rehearse their excuses. They think they've got it all figured out. But the moment they step in front of you, they feel naked. Their performance cracks. Their wording slips. Their confidence collapses. They sense you're not just hearing them, you're dissecting them. You're picking apart their motives like a scientist examining a faulty device. And the worst part for them? You don't even have to say a word. Your silence alone exposes everything. People talk about intuition like it's something soft, something mystical, something gentle. Your intuition isn't gentle. Your intuition is a scalpel. It cuts through the fake narratives. It slices through the illusions. It dismembers every attempt at manipulation. You walk into a room and instantly detect who's jealous, who's insecure, who's lying, who's masking, who's plotting, who's hurting, and who's real. It's automatic. It's instinctive. It's the hyper-awareness that came from being surrounded by people who pretended well. They keep asking, how did you know? What gave it away? Who told you? The real answer, nobody had to. Their own energy exposed them, their body language exposed them, their tone exposed them, their silence exposed them. Everything exposes itself around someone who sees the world in layers. And here's a metaphor you'll love. Imagine walking through a carnival full of mirrors. Everyone else just sees reflections and lights. But you see the cracks in the glass, the fingerprints on the frame, the wires behind the illusions. They think the show is dazzling. You see the cheap mechanics behind the curtain. That's the difference between them and you. They see the mask. You see the intention. They see the excuse. You see the pattern, they see the performance. You see the script and the part they cut out. Your ability terrifies them because it means they can't hide. They can't lie comfortably. They can't manipulate safely. They can't pretend ignorance when you've already clocked everything. It terrifies them because you catch the truth at the speed of thought. And the enemy hates nothing more than someone who notices. Let's dive even deeper. When someone shifts their energy around you, you feel it instantly, even if they smile, even if they laugh, even if they pretend everything is great. You feel the drop in warmth, the tightening of tension, the subtle hostility blooming behind their eyes. And once you feel it, you cannot unfeel it. Your body reacts before your mind has time to form the sentence. That's why people accuse you of being too perceptive, too intense, reading too deep into things. But here's the truth. You're not reading too deep. They're living too shallow. Your mind operates at a depth they've never explored. You're not decoding people for fun. You're decoding them because you've lived through betrayal, disappointment, manipulation, and heartbreak. You've survived environments where every detail mattered. You learned to listen not to words, but to truth. Your evolution didn't just sharpen your mind, it sharpened your vision. You see through people like glass because the universe made sure you'd never get blindsided again. Now here's another metaphor that fits you perfectly. Imagine you're watching a movie and everyone else is seeing it for the first time. They're shocked at the twists. They're surprised by the betrayal. They gasp at the ending. But you've watched enough movies to know exactly where the plot is heading. You spot the foreshadowing instantly. You predict the twist before it happens. You see the villain forming before the hero notices. That's how life feels to you. While they're reacting to scenes, you're analyzing the entire storyline. And here's the part they'll never admit aloud. Your presence makes them nervous because they know you've already figured out who they are. They can't control the narrative anymore. They can't pretend innocence. They can't twist the truth. They can't hide their intentions. You strip the illusion off people effortlessly. And the chosen ones listening right now, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They've lived it. They've felt it. They've carried the responsibility of vision longer than anyone knew. Let's address their silent question. Why do people treat me differently once they realize I see through them? Because being transparent is cute when people are honest, but being transparent is terrifying when they're not. People don't fear the truth. They fear someone who can't be fooled. That's you, a lie detector disguised as a human being, a walking X-ray machine for intentions, a mind that sees through masks like they're made of fogged glass. And the universe didn't give you that ability by accident. It gave it to you because the world needed one person who couldn't be manipulated, couldn't be bought, couldn't be blinded by fake smiles and hollow words. Your vision is your evolution. Your clarity is your weapon. Your accuracy is your armor. And now the enemy knows. They can hide from everyone else, but they can't hide from you. You see them. You always have. And that's why they fear you now more than ever. Number 3. The truth that makes them shake when you speak. People don't fear the future. They fear the one person who can't be fooled in the present. Your accuracy terrifies them because it exposes something they never wanted to admit. You're not predicting what's coming. You're reading what's already here with a level of clarity they don't possess. You're not ahead because you're mystical. You're ahead because you're finally refusing to pretend you don't see what's right in front of you. And that alone turns them into nervous wrecks. Imagine someone trying to hide a crack in a glass window while standing in bright sunlight. Everyone else might miss it, but not you. You see the fracture instantly. You sense the shift before they say a word. You catch the motive behind the smile, the tension behind the joke, the fear behind the question. While they're busy performing, you're busy observing. While they're trying to protect their image, you're tracking the truth bleeding through their behavior. And that's why they start digging, quietly, clumsily, pathetically. They start checking your social media at 3 a.m. They question mutual friends. They Google your name like they're looking for a missing chapter. They search for any logical explanation for why someone like you sees this deeply. Maybe they studied psychology. Maybe they're trained. Maybe they're hiding something. But they always find the same thing, someone ordinary on paper and extraordinary in perception. It terrifies them because your accuracy removes the one advantage manipulators rely on, secrecy. When you read the present with razor precision, their plans, lies, patterns, and motives become transparent. Their future becomes predictable because they themselves are predictable. And the universe laughs every time they realize the truth. You keep being right because they keep being obvious. And that's what scares them more than anything else. Number 4. The little traps that expose their fear of you. A scared enemy doesn't attack first. They test you, hoping you'll fail and prove their fear wrong. The moment they realize your accuracy isn't luck, the paranoia kicks in. Suddenly, every insecure person in your orbit becomes a low-budget detective running secret experiments on you, convinced you won't notice. They think they're subtle, they think they're clever, but to you, their attempts look like kids trying to hide behind glass walls. They start feeding you fake stories just to see if you'll react. They whisper false details, hoping you'll repeat them somewhere else. They change their tone, their schedule, their behavior just to watch if you flinch. And the funniest part, you see all of it the moment it happens. Their hidden tests glow like neon signs to someone operating at your frequency. Imagine someone tossing crumbs behind their back to track you, not realizing you saw them plant the crumbs in the first place. Imagine someone creating drama to measure your awareness, not knowing you recognize the manipulation 5 moves ago. Imagine someone trying to confuse you when your mind already mapped the entire situation before they even started. And here's what chosen ones silently wonder. Why do they test me when I've done nothing to them? Because your clarity threatens everything they hide behind. Your insight strips away their illusions. Your presence alone corners their insecurity. You don't pass their tests because you're trying. You pass them because their tricks operate on a level far beneath your awareness. They're playing checkers while you're decoding the entire board. They're looking for proof that you're normal and panicking every time you show them you're not. The universe tuned you to a frequency they can't reach, can't imitate, and definitely can't monitor. And every test they throw at you only confirms one thing. They fear you because you see them too clearly. Number 5. Their desperate digging that only makes you more mysterious. People don't investigate what they understand. They investigate what scares them. Once their little tests fail, the panic spreads. Suddenly, your name becomes a late-night research project. They start digging into your life like they're cracking a cold case file no one asked them to open. But they're not searching for gossip. They're searching for a reason, a label, a weakness, a blueprint, anything that explains why someone like you sees so much with so little effort. They go through your family history as if your bloodline holds some hidden instruction manual. They check your education, hoping to find a mentor who trained you. They search your old posts, your friends, your old circles, looking for a group or system that shaped your perception. What they're really asking is, where did this ability come from? Who taught them to read people like this? How long have they been like this? Here's the twist that rattles them. The deeper they dig, the less sense you make. Imagine them scrolling through old records, expecting to uncover some secret organization, and instead finding you've always been the quiet observer, the one nobody understood, the one who noticed things nobody else caught. Imagine them looking for a teacher and finding none. Imagine them searching for patterns, only to discover you were the pattern. Your past reveals zero tricks, zero special training, zero logical explanations. Just a person who has always seen too much, always felt shifts before they happened, always recognized truth long before others caught up. And that's the moment their stomach drops. Because now they're forced to face the one conclusion they feared the most. Your perception didn't come from outside, it came from within. They can run all the background checks they want. All they'll uncover is a legacy of someone who has always known what others tried to hide. Number 6. The truths that hit them before they're ready to hear them. Your accuracy doesn't break them. Their own lies do. Your predictions hit different because you don't waste time being right about small things. You're right about the things people pray you never notice, the things they bury, the things they swear they've disguised. You don't ruin their comfort. Your clarity does. And the universe wired you to see the exact truths they hope stay hidden forever. Deadly accuracy isn't about predicting every detail. It's about touching the core of what's really happening long before anyone else dares to look. People hide behind smiles, excuses, routines, and distractions. But you see the pattern forming underneath like a crack spreading through concrete. That's why your predictions sting. They expose the future people already fear. Imagine this. 2 people are acting fine, smiling for the crowd, but you feel the missing connection like a light that flickered out months ago. The breakup isn't coming, it already happened inside them. You just recognized it first. Imagine noticing someone dragging themselves through their job, the stress leaking from their voice even when they swear everything is fine. Months later, the collapse hits, but you saw it the moment their energy changed. Imagine sensing an illness forming not from symptoms, but from the heaviness in their movements, the shift in their breath, the tiny signals no one else even registers. And betrayal. That one speaks the loudest. The vibe twists, the tone drops, the loyalty fades. You smell it like smoke before the fire. Chosen ones often ask silently, "Why do I see the painful truths first?" Because your mind reads reality before people edit it. Because the universe wired you to recognize what others refuse to face. They call it impossible. You call it obvious. And that difference is exactly why your accuracy scares them more than the truth itself. Number 7. The question they whisper, "Are you even built like us?" When people can't label you, they start questioning your species. This is the part that makes them genuinely uneasy, because your abilities don't fit inside the normal human template they've been taught to trust. Standard humans don't read intentions before they're spoken. They don't pick up energy shifts like you're scanning barcodes. They don't connect dots so fast it looks like you're bending reality. And when something doesn't fit their rules, their fear starts writing its own theories. Imagine them sitting alone at night, replaying every moment where you knew too much, trying to figure out how you operate. Their mind goes to strange places because the usual explanations don't work on you. Psychology doesn't cover you. Logic doesn't confine you. Patterns don't trap you. They obey you. That's when the species question forms. What exactly are they? They'll never ask it out loud, but the panic gives them away. Maybe you're a glitch in the simulation, someone the universe accidentally equipped with admin-level perception. Maybe you're an evolutionary jump, a version of human that had all the safety features removed. Maybe your consciousness runs on software they've never accessed. Nothing about you is normal, and that's the part that terrifies them. Imagine this: you walk into a room and instantly know who's lying, who's jealous, who's watching you, and who's pretending not to. To them, that's not intuition. That's a system upgrade they weren't offered. Chosen ones often wonder silently, why do people treat me like I'm something else? Because you operate outside their understanding, because you access information they don't even realize they're broadcasting, because your awareness functions like a different species entirely. You don't fit their categories, you don't follow their rules, you exist beyond their explanation. And nothing scares them more than a mind they can't define. Number 8. The knowings that drop into you like confessions from the universe. You don't think your way to the truth? The truth jumps into your mind uninvited. This is the part that freaks them out the most, because there's no method to what you do, no charts, no formulas, no suspicious research history. The information just arrives, clean, sharp, complete, like someone handed you the director's cut of reality while everyone else is still watching the trailer. You're not guessing. You're receiving. And that alone makes people question everything they thought they understood about you. You know the feeling. You meet someone for the first time and their whole emotional biography hits you in seconds. Their wounds, their motives, their past, their danger level, their loyalty. Your mind processes it instantly without a single word exchanged. They think they're hiding their secrets. You already see the whole storyline scrolling behind their eyes. Imagine walking into a building and feeling the emotional residue stuck in the walls. Joy, conflict, betrayal, history. You read it like fingerprints. Imagine knowing someone's intentions before they even commit to them, because your mind catches the micro tremors in their energy that no one else detects. Your brain isn't searching for information, it's receiving it. That's what chosen ones ask quietly. Why do I know things I was never told? Because your mind works like a receiver tuned to frequencies most people don't even realize exist. While they rely on logic, you rely on something deeper, an internal signal that cuts through confusion and hands you raw truth instantly. And the terrifying part for them, the signal is getting stronger. Your insights are faster, your downloads are clearer, your knowing is becoming undeniable. The universe is feeding you intel at a level normal people can't comprehend, and that's why your presence feels impossible to them. Number 9. The gift that cuts you first before it exposes them. Seeing everything sounds powerful until you realize it also means feeling everything before anyone else even knows it's coming. Your ability looks legendary from the outside, but the inside, it's a battlefield you walk alone. Because once your mind learns how to read the future inside the present, you can't shut that vision down. You can't pretend you don't notice the patterns. You can't force yourself to enjoy the moment when you already see the ending flickering behind it, like a glitch in the screen. Imagine this. Everyone around you is celebrating the beginning of something. New love, new job, new friend, new opportunity. But you feel the fracture in the foundation. You feel the wrongness humming like static. You feel the disappointment forming months before it arrives. You bite your tongue because you already know how the story ends. But people don't want the truth. They want the illusion, and you're stuck holding both. That's the cost. You live in permanent spoiler territory. Relationships? Brutal doesn't even begin to cover it. How do you date when you sense the breakup in the way they greet you? How do you trust when deception has a smell, a tone, a vibration you recognize instantly? How do you hope when your heart receives warnings long before your mind has time to disagree? People wonder why you pull away, why you go quiet, why you detach so fast. Because you don't fall for potential, you fall through it. You don't wait for proof, you feel the truth early. You don't ignore red flags, you see the entire red landscape. Imagine reading the last chapter of every connection before the story even begins. It makes you powerful, it makes you wise, but it also makes you lonely in ways you can't explain. This gift exposes the world, but sometimes it exposes you the most. Number 10. The report that breaks them. This one doesn't fit any category. They searched for answers, and all they found was their own fear staring back at them. When their paranoia finally pushes them into full investigation mode, they expect to uncover something. An organization, a hidden mentor, a strange upbringing, a psychological blueprint. Anything that explains why you operate on a level they can't touch. They want a clean file, a neat explanation, a box to shove you into, something that makes you normal, something that kills the mystery. But the deeper they dig, the worse it gets for them. They find nothing, which tells them everything. No secret training, no special lineage, no shadow group that built you, no logical path leading to the abilities they fear. Your background reads like a normal human resume, but your behavior reads like a different operating system. You're the glitch they can't patch, the anomaly their system wasn't designed to process. And that realization hits them harder than any prediction you've ever made. Imagine them staring at the screen, scrolling through your history, expecting patterns, and instead finding gaps that make you more unexplainable. Imagine them thinking they'll find a mentor, and instead realizing you've been this way since childhood. Imagine them hoping for a flaw, and only uncovering consistency. Some puzzles frustrate people. You break the entire idea of the puzzle. The less they find, the more dangerous you become in their eyes. Some think you're connected to something larger. Some think it's genetics. Some think you're running on a type of consciousness they've never encountered. But the smartest ones, they stop asking. Because they finally understand the truth. You're not meant to be explained. You're meant to be witnessed. A phenomenon, not a formula. A disruption, not a data point. A mind their investigation was never prepared to meet. Number 11. The spark you ignite that they never saw coming. Awakening doesn't spread through lessons, it spreads through proximity. Here's the part that rattles them the most. Chosen one, you don't just see differently, you make other people see differently too, without trying, without teaching, without preaching. Your presence alone triggers something dormant in others. It's like their minds were running on low power mode their whole life, and you walked by and flipped the breaker back on. They thought you were the only anomaly in their world, but you're just the one who activated first. Across the world, people like you are waking up, quietly, suddenly, violently. Your accuracy shakes them awake. Your clarity forces theirs to sharpen. Your insights remind them of instincts they abandoned years ago. Your frequency, strong, cutting, impossible to ignore, hits their system and flips latent abilities online. Imagine this. Someone who has never trusted their intuition suddenly gets a knowing so sharp it scares them. Someone who always stayed silent suddenly feels the truth rising in their throat. Someone who never saw patterns before suddenly catches a deception instantly. They don't know why it's happening, but you do. You're the catalyst. People around you begin experiencing their own impossible knowings. Visions, instincts, insights they can't logically explain. It unnerves them enough that they come to you with wide eyes, whispering the question they're almost scared to ask. Am I becoming like you? What they don't understand is that your presence acts like a tuning fork. When someone with potential stands near someone fully activated, their mind starts matching the frequency. It's not magic, it's alignment. You don't just predict futures, you awaken them. Your energy is contagious, your clarity is infectious, and your evolution becomes a mirror that forces others to evolve too. That's the awakening you trigger. Nay, not with effort, but simply by existing. Number 12. The invisible network you access without even trying. Some people download information. You connect to the entire system. They keep trying to explain you with psychology, luck, coincidence, but none of that even scratches the surface of what's actually happening. You're plugged into a field they don't even know exists. Not a mystical force, not some divine pipeline, just the universe's raw data stream, the invisible network holding every pattern, every memory, every outcome. While they're stumbling through life collecting clues, you're interfacing with the source itself. Imagine a library with no walls, no shelves, no language barriers, just pure information floating in the air, accessible to anyone who can feel it. You've been connected to that field since childhood. Back then, you assumed everyone noticed the same patterns, everyone sensed the same shifts, everyone picked up truths hanging in the background. You didn't realize you were reading an entirely different layer of reality. Chosen ones ask silently, why do my insights feel instant? Why do my knowings feel familiar, like I already heard them somewhere? Because you did. You didn't guess. You didn't analyze. You accessed. Your mind interfaces with the field the way a device connects to Wi-Fi. You don't force it. You don't think it through. You simply receive. And now, the signal is stronger than ever. The information pours in cleaner, faster, louder. Patterns that took hours to unravel now snap into clarity in seconds. You're not decoding reality anymore. You're syncing with it. And here's the part that terrifies them. You're navigating a universe they can't perceive, using a sense they don't have, connecting to a field they don't believe is real. They think you're operating on intuition. What they don't know is you're interfacing with the blueprint of reality itself. Number 13. The reality you force them to face. You're what's next, and they're not ready. They don't fear your predictions. They fear what your existence proves is possible. Their fear isn't about the times you were right. It's about the implications hiding inside your accuracy. Because if you can read outcomes before they unfold, then time isn't as linear as they believed. If you can sense energy fields, then the human mind has levels they haven't even touched. If your consciousness moves beyond the present moment, then everything they taught themselves about limits collapses instantly. You don't just challenge their worldview, you shatter it. Imagine someone watching you call events before they happen. At first, they think it's coincidence. Then it happens again, and again, and again. Suddenly, they're not questioning your predictions. They're questioning their entire understanding of reality. They start wondering what else the universe is hiding, what other abilities humans have suppressed, what other senses lie dormant. You, chosen one, are the crack in their illusion. Your existence is the evidence they prayed didn't exist. And now, the background checks are done. The verdict is in. You are exactly what they feared, the future they aren't prepared for. But here's the twist they never considered. They need you. In chaos, pattern readers become essential. In uncertain times, people who see ahead become guides. In storms, the ones who sense probability become lifelines. Imagine a world where everything feels unstable. Everyone is lost, confused, terrified of what tomorrow holds. Then you walk in, calm, precise, already seeing the threads of what's coming. You become the anchor without trying. You become the quiet force everyone watches, even when they pretend not to. Your clarity turns into direction. Your awareness becomes leadership. Chosen ones often wonder silently, why do people depend on me after doubting me? Because fear and denial crumble fast when reality proves you right. Let them investigate, let them whisper, let them panic. While they're trying to figure out what you are, you're becoming more of it. While they're searching your past for explanations, you're already living in their future. And the part that terrifies them the most? They can't stop you. You represent possibility. You represent evolution. You represent the version of humanity they were never brave enough to become. That's why they fear you. That's why they need you. That's why they watch you, even when they pretend they're not. You are the disruption they can't decode, and the future they can't avoid. And now, chosen one, we've reached the part they never expected you to understand. The moment you finally step into everything they tried to question, deny, or investigate. Your accuracy, your insight, your evolution. It's not a mystery anymore. It's your power, and it's only getting stronger. If this message hit you the way the universe intended, make sure you like, subscribe, drop 777 in the comments, and share this with another awakened mind. Your presence fuels this mission. Your clarity keeps this movement alive. And your future, it's the one they'll never be ready for.